been putting them in all morning.
No, Jimmy Holders, I just saw Jimmy. It's great to see him.
Good to see
morning,
you again.
guys.
Good seeing
And
you.
I'm just going to mention it one more time. You're a fantastic golfer. You're from St. Louis, and you are so very tall. I don't know how somebody as tall as you could have accomplished what you did in golf.
Yeah, when I got on the PGA Tour, I was the tallest player that had ever played
How
out there.
tall are you
Yeah,
again?
I'm 6'5". Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You did not go to the store and buy clubs off the rack, I assume. No golfer does, but even as a kid, I'd imagine.
Well, back in the day, we just really didn't have first of all, we didn't have a lot of money where I grew up, and so I was playing with whatever I could play with. But second of all, the technology just wasn't there like it is today. Mm-hmm. So I started playing with my mom's clubs. And
as did I.
Yeah, it got kind of ridiculous after a while, and so I remember buying my first set, and I went through a big growth spurt, and so then there was some, manufacturing of, putting extensions into some of the, just homemade stuff that my friends and I just tried to make work, and
Apparently it worked for you. I mean, how far you got.
Yeah, really. I'm really, really fortunate, and I've just had a terrific life. I love what I do, and I want to continue doing that.
Yeah. Now, you've come to talk to us about the first tee of Greater St. Louis. You've taken what you've enjoyed out there on the golf course and trying to give it back to others in St. Louis. Tell us about your organization.
Well, thanks. Again, thanks for having me on, you guys. The First Tee is a national organization that has about 155 chapters across the country. And about 11 years ago, a friend of mine and I founded the First Tee of St. Louis here. It's amazing when I hear those words come out of my mouth. 11 years, I just can't believe it. We didn't know if we'd have any kids. We didn't have any clubs. We didn't know exactly what we were getting ourselves into. But if you have any time to go on the First Tee, stl.org website, you'll see that there's something called 9 core values. And the 9 core values are the basis of the First Tee program all over the country. So basically the 9 core values are things like honesty, perseverance, integrity, judgment, things like that. So those are parts of the game of golf that we want to try to introduce other kids of all colors, all shapes, all sizes to in their life. And it's not exactly like we're trying to produce the next Tiger Woods sort of. We're trying to show folks that aren't exposed to this kind of stuff that there's different choices and you have different potential to kind of affect your life. Hey, this is out here. Take a look at this. And I got to tell you, we just had our fundraiser yesterday at Norwood. We had this terrific young 16-year-old. Her name is Kira Nussbaum. She came up and spoke at our event. And I looked at, and I was sitting with 3 CEOs, really, really cool, neat people. And I said, 16 years old, guys. This young woman doesn't have one thing written down. And she just got up there and she goes, I used to be really shy, and I'm not really shy anymore. And we were just blown away by her. And she just spoke off the cuff about what the programs meant to her. She goes, I didn't want to go. I thought golf is stupid. And she goes, it's really helped my self-esteem. I feel much more confident. I can speak in front of you guys right now. And it was impressive. And I'm like, I want to get out of her way. She's going places.
So a participant in the program would do what? How is the program helping them? Through what process?
Yeah, great question. So there's a couple different components. So there's some green grass programming stuff where we have the kids that are actually, come out. We teach them the fundamentals of golf. There's a little classroom participation there. So they need to understand the 9 core values and why that's important. Mm-hmm. And then we take them out to the golf course. Okay, then we also have something that I'm really proud of called our National School Program. So we take the 9 core values, and we are now part of the revolving curriculum in 69 of the public schools, you guys.
That's
so what
fantastic.
happens is, one day you come out and play volleyball, and the next week you play basketball, and the next week you play golf. And part of the golf component, we don't have real clubs and live balls. We have bigger, imagine kind of an oversized hockey stick and a tennis ball to make it easier for the kids to hit, because it is a hard game, especially when you're starting. But then you put the 9 core values in there and have to understand, look, this game is different. You don't just show up. You show up when your tee time is. I got a funny story. When I first started playing on the PGA Tour, which is a long time ago, I had a friend call up and say, what's your tee time tomorrow? And I was like, 9:57. And they're like, oh, so you just show up around 10 o'clock? And I'm like, no, it has to be, if I show up at 10 o'clock, I get a 2-shot penalty. They're like, what? It just, but there are some, and for some people, I can see why those rules might be nauseating, but it's just different, and so For me, growing up in North County and this kind of, my dad was a professional baseball player. I'm a sports junkie. I follow the Cardinals religiously and the Blues. And for me to be playing golf was strictly out of being able to do something by myself. I didn't need the whole neighborhood to get together. You got a great baseball game going on and then two people quit and you're like, now what do we do?
Right.
And so golf was more solitary. I started caddying, which, there's opportunities for young people to make money caddying. And the people that I met, you guys, through the game is just remarkable. I'm sitting right here talking to you guys because of golf. It's awesome for me.
How long is the program for students?
So we have, we have 6-week programming in the spring and in the summer. So when the weather's good, we'll have them in different locations throughout the city. And right now our spring programming is just wrapping up. And we've got 200 kids going to 5 different locations, showing up 5 days a week.
Jay Delsing, professional golfer, talking to us about the first tee of Greater St. Louis. Jay, if somebody wanted to participate or if somebody wanted to help this organization, how would they find out more information? Where would they go?
The first tee, stl.org, and I'm going to give you a telephone number for Michelle South. She is our executive director. And I'll give you her number here in a second. But anyone that has, if you have golf clubs, if you have equipment, if you want to become involved volunteering, if you want to give us some money, we could certainly use that. We don't want to turn anybody away for any reason. And so we will come pick up equipment at your home. We'll do, whatever is necessary to try to get you involved. But the telephone number, if you don't mind me giving that, is 314-533-6400.
And how was the event yesterday?
It was terrific. We had the most number of people that we've had ever show up at our fundraiser. It was at Norwood Hills. We had all 36 holes filled up. I think we probably did the best we've ever done raising money. And we're in the process, you guys, of doing a strategic plan. So I'm really trying to focus on the next 5, 10, and 15 years because the 11 years, this is going to sound stupid, but it kind of snuck up on us. And I was like, wow, I can't believe we've done this. We've been doing this for 11 years. We had over 25,000 kids through the program. So I want to make it so that every kid in St. Louis has an opportunity to go through this if they want. This is available to them. If you can't afford the programming, we'll pay for it. If you need a ride, we'll get you there. We just want to try to make a difference this way. And that's
fantastic. That is so wonderful. Jay Delsing, thank you very much for joining us again.